Hey guys, Tracy here at Kansas Garden Guy Summer Pick Farms. How are you guys doing today? Well, it's the last week of 2021, thank God. So we're just wrapping up the high tunnel here. As you can see, my wife is in the background. We went ahead and I don't know if you guys can see that, but went ahead and pulled the rest of these carrots out. We sold a bunch of them to our weekly bag customers, and we actually put up the last of them. The carrots that she's picking up right now are carrots that are too small to sell or too small to freeze. And I know that sounds kind of weird because you can actually eat any size carrot that you want. Anything smaller than my index finger I threw out. And there's a lot of them that were only about the size of the tip of your pinky because they were hand sown. And but you guys watched 2 or 3 videos back, you noticed that we did get a jang this fall. So next year, those will be planted with a jang, so they will be spaced 1 inch or 2 inches apart, so we will get good-sized carrots next year, and we won't have any waste. 15 pounds of carrots into the freezer just for us, what was left of some of this bed here. So 15 pounds of carrots is a lot of carrots for stews and roasts going into this year. But anyway, she's getting that picked up because what we are going to do is we are going to redo these beds and put some of these beds to sleep for winter. If you notice, this is where I had my rack going in, and my thought process going in when we put this tunnel in almost 2 years ago now was I was going to have a 65-foot tunnel, which this was, and then we were going to put a table here for propagation. Well, I found out pretty quick last year that this was not going to work for propagation because in hindsight, I thought I could just heat this whole tunnel, make it work, which in reality, you can't. And I'll be the first to tell you it's okay to change your plans. Going forward with that, I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this plastic up here, and we are going to finish out this 5th bed all the way to the end here. So we will have 5 60-foot beds in here. This tunnel is 65 foot long, so that gives me, a couple feet on both sides for a walkway and plastic. So that's what we're going to do today because this hellacious heat wave we're having, it's going to be over like 65 degrees today. So I figured today was the day we were going to do a little bit of work outside. Since Christmas was here and I didn't do a video last week, we kind of spent time with our friends and family, and then me and my wife just kind of sat around and watched movies and ate popcorn and stuff. So just kind of a downtime for us coming out of our weekly bags. Last week was our last weekly bag for the year, so we were just trying to relax and spend time. She took some vacation time off work, and so we just kind of sat around, watched TV, and ate snacks. So now it's time to get back to work. So I like to go ahead and mend the beds, put the compost on, then put the tarps on top of it to let it go to sleep. And it's going to keep this ground covered. If you don't keep the ground covered, it will dry out from just the sun, even in wintertime. So we want to make sure we keep this covered with either growing something on it to keep it covered, or we want to cover it with the black plastic. So that's what we're going to do on this back half, so you guys just stick around. You guys watch all the famous market gardeners and stuff. They use what they call broad fork, and basically a broad fork is like a 30-inch wide, 4 or 5 prongs usually. Kind of rock on it, and all you're doing is just laying back the soil. And the reason why you're doing that is because this is a compacted clay soil here we have here in this part of the state, and this area here has been walked on a lot where we had my table here. So we're going to turn this back into a bed. So what I'm doing is I'm not lifting the soil up, I'm breaking the plane is what I like to say. And all this is doing is loosening up that clay. It's letting me get oxygen down to the bottom of this bed about 5-6 inches in. And then what that will do is that will help get oxygen into the soil. It'll help feed those microbes. And then when we put the compost on top of this to build this bed, some of the compost is going to bleed into there, and so it will get a chance for the worms and everything to get through this heavy clay, and for the roots of the new plants to get down deep into this. You can buy this for 30 bucks, or you can buy a broad fork for $300 to $500. I've used this for 2-3 years now. This thing's probably older than me. My dad gave this to me. I remember using this when I was a small kid. And so they do last a while. I'm almost 50 now. So this thing's probably lasted over 40, 45 years. So all I use it to do all my beds. And I don't bend the tine. See, all I'm doing is just barely breaking the surface. And yeah, you've got to do it 3 times to one row like this, instead of 1 time with the broad fork to do all 3 bed, or the 30 inches wide. But ultimately, you guys have watched me do this and talk to you. It's not taking any time at all to do this. I mean, this soil's been worked before. You know, it's been a couple years, but it's been worked before. So, like I said, I'm just doing what you got to do sometimes to save a little bit of money. I'd rather spend that money on irrigation, on seed quality, than spend that money on a tool that I'll use 1 time. As you can see, we came through and broke this up. So now we're gonna go get some compost. All right, guys, you guys saw us use the poor man's broad fork and then put the compost on there. So that bed's gonna be ready to go. So what we were gonna do on these other beds, we are gonna have to put compost in these other beds here before we put them to sleep. So what I like to do is I like to use the flamethrower, and I go through and I just kind of real lightly. You don't have to get crazy with this thing. Literally, you guys have seen these at every hardware store, home improvement store. I got mine at Harbor Freight. Costs less than 20 bucks. Works great. I love this thing. And you're just lightly going to go over your composted soil, and all that's going to do is kill these little baby weeds out. You don't have to hold the trigger to them. You just got to barely touch them. All that's going to do is in a day or 2, they are going to die. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go over this bed with this flamethrower real quick, kill out these weeds, and pretty fun, huh? So that was like my favorite part of doing this. So now that we got this flame thrown, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to lightly rake this and kind of level this out. And then we're going to start putting compost on it like you guys have watched me before. All right, guys, just like that, voila, it's done. We got all 3 beds forked. We got compost put on these beds. And then we got wood chips put into the walkway. So, and then we have the water in the middle here. There's nothing I can do about that. That was here before the high tunnels were. So, but I'm happy. So now what we're going to do is we're just cleaning up right now the stuff we had in the tunnel. What we're going to do is we're going to cover this stuff up with some tarps, and then some silage tarps to get those guys to go into a deep winter sleep until about March, and then we're going to plant this out. This is where I'm going to end the video today. Once again, guys, if you guys like our videos or you like the content we're putting out, make sure you give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, think about subscribing. We do a lot of cool things on this channel. It's not all about market gardening. A lot of this stuff that we're doing together here, you can use in just a raised bed. You can use in just your backyard gardening. So don't think that this is just for market gardening. All this stuff that goes into this can also be used in anything else. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it. That's going to be the last video of 2021. Believe it or not, it's the last video of 2021. So saying that, we've learned a lot in the market garden this year. We've learned a lot of failures that we did. Going forward in 2022, I've changed a lot of things up. how we are going to go forward and attack this market garden going into next spring, and a couple of ideas that have bounced off of me from other friends and family that I'm going to implement and see if we can take this to the next level. So I want to say thank you guys to all the new subscribers this year that have followed our journey. I appreciate it a lot. It means a lot to me that you guys want to follow us and want to support us and want to reach out and comment us and stuff like that. It still amazes me that there are so many people out there that are just wanting to learn how to garden or grow food for themselves, or maybe just use this as a form of, what do you want to call it, as a form of entertainment, which is all fine. Saying that, I wanted to announce something. You guys do know that I work with Bootstrap Farmer, and by no ways am I paid by them or an employee of Bootstrap Farmer or anything like that. I know I bring their name up a lot, but you guys also know that I like to talk about companies that provide us the products that are good products. And if they are good products, I will bring their name out and I will talk about their products as much as I can. If they're not good products, I won't bash them, but you'll never hear me talk about them again. And Bootstrap Farmer has been one of those companies that have worked with us since the beginning and provided us great options for our farms, from seed starting trays to information to friendships. I've gained a couple good friendships there out of Bootstrap Farmer, and I talk to those guys once or twice a week, and they've become very good friends. So that means a lot to me also. And our high tunnels, you guys know that. I've got 2 high tunnels now going forward. And you guys are wondering on that, why maybe I have not shown that second high tunnel, that 20 by 100 all metal kit. Well, there's a reason why I don't really show that too much, but I can now. It's beneficial. The video and stuff dropped today on YouTube and also on Facebook and Instagram. We have partnered up with Bootstrap Farmer going forward, and I have, or I guess it's not I, it's we have, a 52-week vlog series on how to be a market gardener in the Midwest. So I will be doing double duty for video. I will be producing videos for YouTube, and then I will also be producing videos for Bootstrap Farmer every week. So there's 52-week video series that's going to happen. Yeah, I know. Now that I keep saying it, it's like, that is a 52-week video series. So now I've got to make a video series for YouTube and then a video series for Bootstrap Farmer also. Wow, that's going to be a busy year going next year. But anyway, guys, if you guys are interested in that, I'm going to try, if I can get this to happen, I'm going to try to link the commercial at the end of this video. It's only like, I think, 45, 50 seconds. If you guys want to check that out, that's going to be the teaser going into the series. I did notice on YouTube this morning that they actually announced it on YouTube. But anyway, guys, look for that next week. If you want to follow us along, it will be everything from how to plot out your ground, how to get a high tunnel built, what to grow in your high tunnel, when to grow, the trials and tribulations of it all. So you're going to see the pluses and you're going to see the failures also. You're going to see us at farmers markets. You're going to see us doing weekly bag series. You're going to see us start the whole gamut of market garden from start to beginning, or start to end, is going to be placed in that video series. So if you haven't already, go check out bootstrapfarmer.com. Like them on Facebook. Like them on YouTube so you can watch this video series. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for being loyal subscribers and following us along on our journey. But hopefully you'll follow us along on our new journey going forward with the video series and with our weekly YouTube. You guys have a great year, and I'll see you next year.